What we kind of discovered, so we weren't able to capture any of this upside. So we tied ourselves directly to the activity that was going on our tech. So as the lender grew, their volume, our fees were also growing. $42 million is what we made in the year and a half where we were doing PPP loans. Today, we are going to talk about the partnership pricing model. We are an enterprise SaaS solution. Contracts range anywhere from $5K to $30K, big ticket items. We, over time, have been tracking customer data relentlessly. What we kind of discovered, we were sort of sitting in no man's land. So we'll start with, over here you've got complexity, simplicity, replaceable, and invaluable. We were sort of sitting in no man's land right about here, where we are offering a complex solution that is also somewhat replaceable and very hard for us to innovate. So we wanted to move up to this little spot where we're also invaluable yet simple for us to both roll out as well as support. And then, again, the big reveal, you really want to be up here, which we call partnership. That's really where we want to be seen by our customers. What we were seeing, if you think about volume on our solution and time, our customers were doing this. And if you think about from an efficiency standpoint, one of the things that they want to be doing is, again, this is also time, we'll call this efficiency. They were coming like this. So they were seeing to originate a loan where they make money was going down. So it's the perfect scenario. And our solution was kind of locked into this like fixed pricing model. So we weren't able to capture any of this upside. Raise your hand if you took out a PPP loan during PPP. Excellent. Does anybody know the economics on that for the lenders that were making those loans? A lot of points. So let's go real quick. 0 to 350, a lender was making 5 points on that deal for issuing that loan. 350 to 2 million, they're making 3 points. 2 million to 10 million, they're making a point. That's the origination fees the lenders were earning on the PPP loans as they were making them in the bank segment. We rolled out a PPP product quickly to all of our lenders. What ended up happening is it became this perfect scenario. So again, think about, let's call this, on this scale, revenue. And we'll call this scale volume. The perfect thing was happening. Poof. That's the lender. We'll be black. This was our product. Poof. Keeping track. So we tied ourselves directly to the activity that was going on our tech. So as the lender grew, their volume, our fees were also growing. Over a year and a half period, this equated to $42 million is what we made in the year and a half where we were doing PPP loans. This big number here, that ended up being $10 billion that got issued out through the tech. To help you guys think about this, we're continuing to push this out, this volume-based, revenue-based model. And what we're going to do, we are going to flirt with our customers. So this is where the framework comes in. First thing, find a variable portion of your customer's revenue. Try to tie yourself to that. For us, in the lending world, that's basis points. Basis points on loans. That's where lenders earn all of their fees. That's where we tied ourselves to in this model. Next one, load your customer's data. Specifically, this comes in financial modeling. As we built this new pricing model, we had to load it. We had to build a model that would show everybody how everybody succeeds. We use that in our sales motions. Next one, incent adoption. This has been the hardest part of rolling this model out. Banks typically do not like variable pricing. They want a fixed price that they can try to exploit. And so they don't really want to be, in some ways, in this partnership model with you. It's very difficult. It's been difficult for us. It probably feels that way to some of your customers too. However, that's where we want to be. Because we believe when we're lined up with partnership, it incents our team to be thinking about how our customers can succeed. And it ties us all together. So we all do better when we all do better. That's really kind of where we want to be in this partnership place. On rollout, be flexible. We've been forced to be flexible in rolling out this model because it's been difficult for folks to adopt. So we've started to do a blended approach. Where the banks started to really push back is they didn't want this uncapped, permanent price increase in their pricing models. So what we had to do is to start to experiment with a cap. But we just set that cap so high that it's going to be very difficult for them to ever reach it. So It works because it places a ceiling on which the price is going to be, and then they use that going forward for some of their pricing discussions that they have internally. Last piece, track your results, and also, this is the big one, track your discounts against, when you set that cap, track how much they're going over that. Because that's going to demonstrate to them when it comes renewal time, because again, a lot of these are, typically for us, they're 3-year contracts. When you're tracking the discounts that are in your little F.L.I.R.T model here, when it comes time for renewal at that 3-year period, you're demonstrating how much they've earned on your tech as part of that. So it makes that whole negotiation piece at the end of the 3-year term much easier to kind of set the new price going forward, because you're demonstrating all the value that they've gained from using your tech as part of the whole model. That's the partnership pricing model in effect. Again, remember to flirt with your customers. That's all my time.